Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the Benjamin Titan NP. Please stay tuned. Before we get started, you might be asking yourself, why would I go and get a pellet rifle when I already have firearms and I already have a .22 and various other firearms? Well, first of all, it's kind of hard to get ammunition these days, and ammunition tends to cost a little more. And all of this is because of the threat of assault weapons bans and gun confiscation and everything else on a federal and state level. And I'm not going to get into the politics of this particular video, but for those reasons, this is a very good thing to have. It's much cheaper to shoot. You know, with all that crap aside, this is still a lot cheaper to shoot and practice with, and you can practice depending on your very local home association rules and whatever. You can practice in your backyard, or maybe even if you have a proper backstop and bullet trap, you could even shoot in your garage as long as you do it safely. I don't condone you just shooting in your house. Now, this is, again, the Benjamin Titan NT, and what really sets this particular rifle apart from others is, number one, it's $150, and you're getting this really nice wood stock with some, some pretty nice grain and even a nice, stock and rubber thing. I forgot what they call it, butt stocker, but I hate it. You get on video and you just forget crap. But nice cushion here, and you're like, well, what do you need a shock absorber on the back of that thing? It's only a pellet gun. Well, pellet guns kick, and it's not because of that round. It's because of the piston that's inside. Now, there's two types. You have the spring type, and then you have the gas-filled type. And this has a nitrogen cylinder inside it, which makes it a lot quieter and a lot less temperature, or it makes it less temperature sensitive as the spring types. So let's go into the details of this really quick. Again, you have a nice hardwood, hardwood stock. You have a, this is not a smooth bore. This is actually a nice rifle barrel. It's very well made, very accurate. This is a .177 caliber. Now, they do make these in .22 caliber. I just wanted the .177 because those are more available. All of these different pellets that I might show you if we're not running too much in time. This can achieve some crazy velocity, 1,200 feet per second, and they'll advertise it on the box here. But one thing to keep in mind is that you're only going to achieve those velocities if you're using a very light, high velocity pellet. Otherwise, you're going to get slower speeds out of this. Now, this is a break action type rifle, and I will show you how that works, but basically you just sort of pull down on the barrel, you sort of break it and then pull it down, and that sort of charges and compresses the gas in here, because that's what this pellet gun uses to shoot that pellet. That compressed gas will push the piston, which will blow that pellet out the barrel. It's a single shot. Got to cock it, load it, bring the barrel up, and then you pull the trigger one at a time, so it's very slow. This did come with a cheap scope made by Centerpoint. It's a 4x32. It's not that great. There are some setups that look similar to this that cost a little more, and it comes with a better scope, like a 3x9 zooming type of scope, which is much better. Again, this comes with a recoil pad back here. I don't personally need it, but there might be some people that would appreciate it. Plus, it does extend the stock a little bit more for, if you have longer arms, things like that. This is completely ambidextrous. There's no controls on one side or the other. The safety is inside the trigger, which I am not a big fan of, and they seem to always want to do that with pellet guns. Pellet rifles, they want to put that safety in there. I don't think you should be sticking your finger into the trigger guard for any reason and pulling the trigger. So this is something that I don't appreciate with a lot of the pellet guns out there, but you basically pull it back to go ahead and take it off safe. You push this forward, just like that. You push it forward, and then you can put your finger in and pull the trigger. Push this back, this metal piece, which is right in front of the trigger, and now it's safe. Now this has a 2-stage trigger, and it is adjustable, so you can put a screwdriver right up here. They got a cutout in the bottom of the trigger guard, so you can put a screwdriver up, and right behind the trigger there's a Phillips screw that you could adjust. The thing weighs 6.7 pounds, and I think I've said enough with all the specs, because I'm really boring you guys. I don't want to do that, guys and gals. Read the instructions, for the love of Pete. Read the freaking instructions, especially with any kind of firearm, even pellet guns, and I'll show you why it's really important. But read the instructions from front to back. They also included instructions for the scope, and they also provided for dummies, how to cock your brake barrel. And I'll go ahead and do it too, so you get to see and make fun of me doing that. Now, the reason why you want to go through the manual, there's some important things that I sort of wrote down that I just want to say in this video before we get started. Number one, there is a break-in period for this. After about, it takes about 100 shots for it to sort of accurize and settle down. Don't dry fire this gun. When you cock it, be ready to actually shoot it, because you don't want to dry fire it and you don't want to keep it cocked. So you got to sort of think ahead when it comes to that. Also, hidden in the instructions really good is to apply a drop of RMC oil every few hundred rounds into the compression chamber. So it's very easy to get confused, because there's all different kinds of oils out there, and the RMC oil is also known as silicone chamber oil. Looks like this. But you'll also find this pen oil. You don't want to use this inside the chamber for this particular firearm. Keep in mind, every firearm is different. Look in the manual and find out what they recommend to put into the compression chamber. You will find on forums, pellet gun forums, people having heart attacks about putting this into the chamber, even of this rifle. So it's very debatable. One of the hot button subjects that I don't care to get into. So anyway, let's try this out. Other things they advertise is this is 70% quieter than, you know, other pellet guns, and really let's have some fun and start shooting. Okay, what I'll be shooting is the Daisy Precision Max. This is a flat, you know, sort of like a wad cutter of pellets, and I figured that would be really good to make some nice clear holes in the target. And now we'll go ahead and break this. Now the way they say to recommend breaking it is, first of all, I recommend you have the safety on, and then you sort of keep this into your thigh, sort of like this somewhere, and you're holding it here, and then what you want to do is just sort of whack this a little bit easily where it sort of just breaks it, and then you want to reach down on the end and pull it down, just like that. Now, it helps if you have the pellets open before you start. But I'm going to leave this in as a lessons learned. By the way, Benjamin Rifles is owned by Crossman, by the way, just in case you didn't know. I think they were bought out at some point a while back. So the next thing you're going to do is go ahead and take a pellet, and I'll go ahead and bring it up here so you can see. And you have the side with the hole, and then you have the pointy side, or in this case the flat wad cutter side. You want to put that in there just like this, so you have the side with the hole, the cone here on the outside, so it looks like that. And you want to make sure you push that down in there so it's not sticking out. And then we'll go ahead and put that up. Next thing you want to do, especially when you're shooting where something can sort of rebound and pop you in the eye and shoot your eye out. I don't want this to be another Christmas Story video where the kid gets his eye shot out. But we'll go ahead and I'll show you shooting here so you can see what that looks like. Alright, so again, don't put your trigger finger into that trigger guard till you're ready to shoot. Go ahead and take the safety off where you push that piece of metal forward. That sticks right before the trigger. And then we'll go ahead and get ready to shoot. Alright. Awesome! Bullseye. Now if you don't believe me, I'll go ahead and do some shots here at the at my trap. I'm going to show you my trap real quick. I'm going to bring you around and let you see what that looks like. And you say, what's all that crap? Alright, so there's the trap. Those bottom two on the left was what I was sighting in, and I just shot a shot right through the same hole in the bullseye right there. So I'm going to grab another target and I'll go ahead and do a couple of shots. By the way, that trap down there is by Dual, and it's made to handle 22 caliber bullets, not just pellets. Oh, shot a little bit low and to the left. And we'll go ahead and throw another one in there. You can see it's not a fast process loading this thing. So you gotta make that shot count, especially if you're hunting squirrels and such. There we go, much better. Now if you do want to shoot faster, they have some rifles that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars more that you use a pump and you pump it up and it gets like pressures of a couple of thousand psi, and then you could shoot a whole bunch instead of cocking it each time. Now this scope, when you move your head, it seems like it moves inside there. It's probably not meant to shoot this close. There we go, so we're doing good. I'm going to go ahead and bring you around here. You can watch me shoot a little bit. Again, what I'm doing here is just sort of putting this right down here on my thigh, pulling that down, because it does take a little bit of strength to pull that down. Pop one in there, pop it up. And grab another one. Got it in there. Don't put your finger in that trigger guard until you're ready. Alright. Now what could be more fun? Now again, one of the reasons why I went with the .177 is I could walk into any big box store and find all of these. I found all of these different variants of pellets, including even these high-speed ones that are lead-free and a lot lighter, in Walmart and Dick's and other stores, normal stores. Didn't even have to order them. All these are different varieties. You have these that look like the Hornaday bullets. I mean, look at that. It has a little plastic thing in there in the front to help it get through the air good, and then once it gets into whatever it's getting into, then it has that hollow point right behind it. Really cool. Look at these. Some of the packs have several varieties in them. You have these super high velocity SSPs that feel lighter. They're lead free. Again, that makes them go faster, but they do have a little bit less punch at when they impact because you have less weight. Look at that, all different kinds. Of course, each manufacturer is going to recommend the stuff made by them, so they're going to recommend Crossman and Benjamin type pellets over others. So you get hunting, hollow point, high velocity. Look at these. These are like, I think they call them armor piercing because they get like a copper ball in there. They hit pretty hard. But all kinds of pretty good stuff. Now, another thing you need to have if you have a dice pellet gun is you want a little cleaning kit. I don't recommend you shove any kind of metal brush down there. This is a nylon brush that came and it comes with a mop. This is made for 1.177 0.177 pellet guns. So you really need to have one of those. Every time you shoot, I recommend that you clean it out. You clean the barrel just like you would a normal firearm, because you're shooting lead in most cases down that barrel, so it's gonna get leaded up. And again, I want to show you the different oils. Now there are many more oils, but the ones you're most likely going to find in the stores are this pen oil, and then the RMC oil, also known as silicone chamber oil. Each one has its own purpose that I'm not going to get into in this video. Now, the rifle itself also came with, some covers for the scope right there. So let's go ahead and take a real close look at the rifle, so you can see what that looks like. I love the front, so it looks like a silencer on it, but really nice. Nice wood. Again, let's go ahead and look down here under the trigger guard. You can see that hole right there, and down that hole there's a Phillips screw. That's to adjustable stock right there. And again, it comes ready to put this on there. It doesn't come with the scope on it. You have to mount it. So if you're not sure how to do that, you might want to get someone who does, or bring it to your local gun shop, and they'll be more than happy to go ahead and put this on properly for you. Look at that. Really, really nice wood there. Nice recoil pad, now that I know what it's called. So it has that little plastic nylon strip right there, like old school stocks did. All for $150. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. Now, one other thing I'd like to go ahead and show you real quick is my trap. This is made by Dual. Go ahead and pop this off, and you can see it's really, really thick metal. This runs about $50, but you can see where it's sort of hit in there barely. And what happens is this is at a 45-degree angle, so the pellets sort of come in here, boom, and then go down. And then you can see there's a piece of metal here that's sort of curved. And then, so what'll happen is these pellets will hit and go down and get stuck behind here. So it does a really good job. It comes with a little clippy thing up here, so you can just sort of clip your targets there. So really cool. Again, it's for Dual bullet box for 22 and 17 caliber rimfire only. This is made for real bullets, but it's great for pellets too. I love being able to do this right in here in my garage. Again, this is useful because I'm practicing breathing control, trigger control. Even though it's not a real gun, I don't have to go out to the range because I don't have acres of land to shoot behind me. So, I gotta save money. Ammunition is so expensive. This is so much cheaper. All I have to do is clear out my garage, set this up, and I can practice some basics. Trigger control, breath control, and I can maybe not worry about, for just a little while, gun control. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you, and I will see you again on Friday. Take care.